beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverly. It's really nice to see you today. I'm not feeling too good today. I don't know if you can tell by looking at my little face. So I'm here with my heated blanket and my dog. Say no, geese. My little dog, because I love spending time with you guys, and today I wanted to talk about something that's been popping up on my timeline a lot this week on Twitter. A lot of people don't like Twitter. I don't hang out on there as much as I do on Instagram because I find it can be quite toxic. But I was really thankful that I'd seen this whole kerfuffle around Bryan Cranston. Now, if you don't know, he was the lead actor in Breaking Bad. I didn't watch Breaking Bad, I just didn't fancy it. But from what I can gather, his son in the show was played by a disabled actor who's actually an advocate for the disabled community and wanting disabled actors to get more work. So it really shocked me when I read that, and then in the next breath saw Bryan Cranston standing up for the fact that he'd taken a role as a disabled person in his new film. It's called The Upside, and it's about a quadriplegic who hires an ex-felon as his carer. I'm not sure if it's meant to be a comedy or if it's meant to be, you know, uplifting, inspirational porn. I'm not quite sure. I haven't really seen much about the film, to be honest. The only things I've heard about it have been the disabled community saying, why once again are we seeing a disabled character on TV or in a film not played by a disabled actor? Now, Bryan Cranston did put out a statement about this, and what he basically was saying was that no big Hollywood film is going to hire somebody who isn't a big name to play a disabled character in a movie. It's just never going to happen, so let it go and just say goodbye to that dream. We've seen Sam Claflin be in, what was that film called? Is it Me Without You? It's Me Without You. I really loved that book and I loved the film before I educated myself. But Sam Claflin played a guy who had been able-bodied. He was in an accident, then he was a quadriplegic, he falls in love, and then he kills himself. Yeah, basically telling people that it's better to die than to be disabled. Yeah, it's not a good message to be giving out to the world. And neither is this. It's not a good message to be saying, oh, well, you're just not going to find big actors of this type, so forget it. Because people fought for people of colour to be able to be more prominent, fought really hard for it, and now we see a lot more black people in films and TV. We have Black Panther. I mean, who would have thought that just like 5 years ago we'd have a major film like that with a completely black cast? It was incredible to watch, and it blows my mind to think of that. Yet if people had just given up way back when, we never would have seen that. It doesn't ring true to me to say, oh, we have no famous actors that are disabled, because the reason we don't have famous disabled actors is because you, Hollywood, are not hiring them. I read somewhere, and I can't remember which article it was in, but somewhere they said they have like 1 day a year where disabled actors can go and like have an open casting call, and I was like, 1 day a year? Could you imagine now if people said they have 1 day a year in Hollywood where people of colour are allowed to go and try out for things? There would be so much kicked up, such a kerfuffle made. And I have to ask why other minorities are given support for representation but disabled people aren't. Where is that anger, that vitriol? Like, why? Where are the disabled writers and directors? Where are they? Like, we're already seeing Hollywood kind of kick back against women because of the whole Me Too movement. There was somebody posted something like, oh, there aren't many female directors, and then somebody replied with like a great big long list of Hollywood directors that are women, and I was like, yes, please, more. I don't know. I mean, it just makes me wonder if whitewashing characters is given such a big thing. Like, I remember when Doctor Strange came out, and there was a film with Scarlett Johansson played like a Japanese woman or something. I didn't watch Doctor Strange because of the whitewashing in it, because I think there are so many amazing Asian actors, and there are so many incredible Asian stories and folklore, and I mean, that's one of the oldest civilizations that we have that's still going, and their stories aren't being told. And so I think we should be saying, you know what, no, you shouldn't be whitewashing. Pack it in. Let's get those Asian actors on that screen and get them famous. It's amazing. I remember like cheering on when To All the Boys I've Loved Before came out, and just being like, oh my god, look. And they're not making a huge thing out of the fact that they're not white girls. It's just, they're there and they're playing characters, and it's not really brought up, and I loved that. That's what I want to see more of. I want to see the best friend played by a girl in a wheelchair, just because she was the best actress, not because you want to get some inspiration from the fact that the other girl is in a wheelchair, but just because she was the best actress. It shouldn't matter what colour somebody is. It shouldn't matter whether somebody's disabled or not. They should get the roles. I think a lot of people can't see the comparison that I'm making, and I really hope I'm doing this justice and speaking out, because I always try my best to be an ally to people of colour. But obviously as a white woman it's kind of difficult because we don't experience life through their eyes, but I do my best. So please forgive me and be respectful if I have said anything wrong, because I'm just doing my best, as we all must do our best to support one another. And I would hope that people will start understanding where we're coming from when we're on Twitter saying stop this now, instead of saying, well, there aren't any, it's just acting, whatever excuse you're coming up with. It's not okay to erase us from society when so many people, I mean, I had no idea how many people were chronically sick. I had no idea, none, not a clue. I thought 95% of the world was healthy, and then just like a few people were sick. No, it's getting higher and higher and higher, because our society is really not set up for the way humans are supposed to be living, and it's changed so quickly in just a couple of generations. So to see us being erased from society and used as inspirational porn, to see actors using disability as a way to get awards, or a way to be like, good for you, you played a disabled person, how inspiring, let's give you an Oscar. It's frustrating, because somebody who is disabled is going to bring something to the table that you could never bring as an able-bodied person. Yes, you can think, oh, what would it be like to be quadriplegic? What would that be like? Would I be angry? Would I be feeling this? Would I be that? But you don't know, because you haven't been through that. I don't know, because I haven't been through that. I have had my health completely change my lifestyle, So I have a little bit of insight, but I don't know. It's frustrating, and it's even more frustrating that people aren't sticking up for us. It's just the disabled community going, hello, no, we're here, and you shouldn't be erasing us from the world. And other people are just like, but it's just acting. Surely they should act. Oh, can you tell I'm getting frustrated about this? And I'm trying to I've got notes so that I don't get off topic, but when I get passionate about something, I start drifting off. Basically what Hollywood is saying by doing this is that Hollywood doesn't think that we will become fans of people who are disabled. It's basically saying if, I don't know, Brad Pitt were in a wheelchair, we wouldn't appreciate his acting skills. We wouldn't appreciate looking at his pretty face. We wouldn't appreciate him. And that's sad, because what message is that giving to us? That we're not worth love, that we're not worthy of people's affection because we're disabled. I still give out as much into society as I can every single day. It might not be monetarily because I'm disabled and I can't work, but I still give out a heck of a lot into this world. I'm still worthy, I'm worthwhile, and I want, if you're disabled and you're watching this, I want you to know that you are worthwhile and you are worthy of people being a fan of and people liking, and we should be giving disabled actors our support. I've been seeing if you look up Bryan Cranston on Twitter, the hashtag Bryan Cranston, you will see there are some disabled writers and actors who've replied and who have given their experiences. Go and give them a follow. Go and give them your support, because it's about time we started putting our money where our mouth is. And instead of keep paying money for these white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed people playing the same roles over and over again, we should be looking for the difference in each of us. We should be breaking down walls, because it shouldn't matter. And the only reason we think it matters is because society is telling us so. We all kind of follow along like sheep, but it's about time we all kind of opened our eyes and were like, you know what, actually it is kind of bad the way I treated that person because of the job they had, or because of the colour of their skin, or, you know, I talked to the carer instead of the actual person in the wheelchair. That happens to me so much. I can go to a shop, whether I've got my walking stick or my wheelchair depends on the day. My condition is very changeable. If I go in one day to a shop and I have my walking stick, I can be chatting to people, they won't barely notice the walking stick. They might ask if I've injured my foot or something, but I'll be talked to on a level. But if I go the next day to the same shop, in my wheelchair, my husband pushing me, the amount of times the person behind the register will talk to my husband, will reach out to him for the money instead of me, because I'm the person buying the thing, and will give my card back to my husband, who'll then be like, thanks, and give it to me. And it's only through pushing forwards and making sure that people like Bryan Cranston, people like these writers and directors, and especially the, what do you call them? Casting directors. Especially the casting directors. I'm talking to you people. Stop thinking people still feel the same as they did back in 1953, because we don't. Society's changed a hell of a lot. Stop doing these things and start thinking outside the box. Start hiring people who are disabled to play just a normal role. And I'm still annoyed that Clint Barton wasn't deaf in the films. I'm always going to be annoyed at that. Always. always. He should have been shown with hearing aids and probably played by a deaf actor. I am literally begging society in general, Hollywood, I'm talking to you as a whole. I'm going to tag as many celebrities as I can think of when I post this, because I'm just like, please start listening. Stop using us as inspirational porn or as a way to get awards. And start giving roles to people with disabilities. Start giving roles to people who can represent the role that's been written. Start hiring disabled writers and disabled directors, and start including us in your society, and you will see that just because somebody is deaf or has learning disability or uses a wheelchair does not necessarily mean that they will bring less to the table and that people will not support that person, because the disabled community is a big community, and we have money to spend on seeing films and buying action figures too. So start including us and thinking about us, because we're here and we're not going anywhere, and we're not going to stop. I'm not going to stop posting videos like this until you start including us, and not as inspiration, not as the joke, but as human beings, as fully fledged characters that people can just love. Start having the main actress in a romantic comedy a wheelchair user or somebody with a walking stick, and hire somebody who's an actor who has the disability. Don't just give an able-bodied person a walking stick or a wheelchair, please. Yeah, this was a bit more ranty than I expected it to be. I'm going to write a blog post that hopefully will not be as ranty as this. I'm hoping that when I can write it down, I can get my thoughts out without being quite like this. Wish me luck. I hope I can do it. But I just want to thank you all for sticking around and watching this video. Please leave any comments, thoughts, feelings down below. But as always, be respectful of each other's opinions. No arguments, no being nasty or putting people down in my comments aloud. You'll get blocked for that kind of thing. Guys, let's start changing the narrative of our society and start being better people. Start lifting ourselves higher up. We can do this. We can do it. So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If you have not yet subscribed, please press that little button down there. Ring that little bell so you always know when I upload. Don't forget to leave this a like if you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an amazing weekend, that you do something fun that makes you laugh so much your stomach hurts and you can't stop smiling so your cheeks hurt. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.